Amy Roloff enjoys fun date night featuring Cirque du Soleil and cute pub stop with husband Chris. Hello viewers, I am Alana. Welcome back to my channel. USA Daily History for Roloff family latest news update. Please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Amy Roloff is enjoying her time with husband Chris Marek on Monday evening. The Little People, Big World star, 60, gave fans a sneak peek into married life with Marek, 60, as the two spent a fun-filled date night together. She first posted a picture of the pair together starting their night off at an RV show to her Instagram story. Before heading to Cirque du Soleil, we stopped by the RV show, Roloff wrote. Oh my goodness, so many different styles/options. She then took fans along on her date night, posting another snap with Marek as the two grabbed some food at the Pocket Pub in Portland. After the RV show, we stopped by this cute pub downtown, PDX Pocket Pubs, she wrote over the picture. That a great place. I loved it, Roloff also added at the bottom of the post, a fun date night with my guy. The TLC star married Marek in August 2021 at Roloff Farms in Hillsboro, Oregon. Reflecting on their wedding, Roloff admitted that the only thing she would change would be focusing more on herself and Marek. Even though we had our family and friends and stuff like that, they're there for us, she told People in November 2021 that I don't need to cater to that. I need to cater, probably, a little bit more to Chris and I. Roloff also shared her favorite memory of the day, a special moment with her dad as he got ready to walk her down the aisle. When I walked out of the barn door and saw my dad sitting there, she recalled, at the time, it was a warm afternoon, and so he wasn't sure whether he'd walk me down the full length or halfway amid his health issues. I looked at him sitting there, waiting for me to come to him. Then when I met up with him, my eyes went directly to Chris and his handsomeness in that suit. It was like the people around us faded away. Roloff said the marriage was going great already, sharing how the couple was in their fun stage, and judging by their most recent outings, it seems the fun has continued. In 2020, Roloff moved away from Roloff Farms following her 2016 divorce from ex-Matt. After raising 4 children with her ex-twins Jeremy and Zach, both 32, daughter Molly, 29, and Jacob, 26, and running pumpkin season for years, Roloff said goodbye to the property she long called home. Though the wedding took place at the farm, and Matt is the sole owner, he did not attend the wedding, with Marek noting in an episode of Little People, Big World, that his attendance could be awkward for some people. Chris Marek's job is so amazing. Learn what the LPBW star and Amy Roloff's husband does for a living. He makes money moves. Little People Big World star Chris Marek started dating now-wife Amy Roloff in 2017. But what is his job outside of the TLC show? Chris is a photographer turned realtor based in Portland, Oregon. He has been working as a real estate agent for more than 20 years and recently sold an apartment in Portland for $300,000. According to his LinkedIn page, he has worked at a Portland real estate agency since 2010. Prior to becoming a realtor, the Idaho native studied at Portland State University and Clackamas Community College. Although he is based in Portland, he sells properties across Oregon, including in Beaverton, Colton, and Aurora. It seems Chris is well-liked among his clients, as he has a 5-star rating on his Zillow page. A bit of family drama arose surrounding his line of work in November 2021 when Tori Roloff, Zach's wife, seemingly snubbed Chris by not choosing him as their realtor. The couple instead went with one of Audrey Roloff's close friends, Hannah Novak, In Touch confirmed at the time. During a December 2022 episode, Amy's ex-husband, Matt Roloff, admitted he felt comfortable discussing the sale of Roloff Farms with Chris because of his background in real estate. In May 2022, Matt put 16 acres of Roloff Farms on the market after choosing to not sell the land to any of his 4 children. However, he had a change of heart and took the property listing down in October. The Roloff patriarch then revealed his plans to convert the family's longtime house into a rental property. Chris revealed his new role as a private tour guide on Roloff Farms during season 24 of LPBW. The real estate broker asked Zach, who was previously known for facilitating the private tours, if he would hold it against him during a teaser for the December 27th episode. Zach and Dad Matt's ongoing feud has resulted in the dad of 3 sitting out pumpkin season, but he gave Chris his blessing. In addition to his seasoned career in real estate, Chris enjoys hiking and motorcycle riding. Next June, we're riding to Alaska and back, Chris said while giving a tour of Roloff Farms on Halloween 2021. An attendee exclusively told In Touch, He and Amy are going to do a trip on his motorcycle, the insider revealed. He says it will be a little over 3,000 miles and should take just over 3 weeks. Chris met Amy in 2017 at a blind dating event, connecting after he invited her on a motorcycle ride. The pair continued to enjoy riding motorcycles together, road tripping across Oregon, Washington, and Canada during the summer of 2017. Chris later proposed to Amy in September 2019 after 5 years of dating. "I'm excited. I'm so surprised. I'm thrilled," Amy told People at the time. "I never in a million years thought I'd be getting married again, but I also hoped for it. Now that it's happening, I couldn't be happier or more excited." While sharing details, Chris revealed he picked a very special ring. "I was very nervous," he admitted. "It had to be a heart-shaped diamond because I knew that's what Amy wanted." The couple tied the knot in August 2021 at Roloff Farms in Hillsboro, Oregon. LPBW spoiler: Amy Roloff gets teary-eyed opening up about not feeling good enough during childhood. In Tuesday's episode of Little People, Big World, Amy Roloff gets emotional as she reflects on issues from her past that she still struggles with as an adult. Amy and her husband, Chris Marek, are still adjusting to life as a married couple following their August 2021 nuptials. As the couple sits down to talk during the episode, Amy opens up about how she and Chris often view things differently. When Chris mentions how sensitive Amy can be, she admits that it stems from worrying about how she's perceived by others. "There are moments where Chris may say something and it's innocent on his part, but to me, it's like, 'What are you doing?' Amy confesses." Amy revealed that the old adage from her childhood has followed her into adulthood, trying to fit in and meet other people's expectations, which she admits can deplete her, noting that she often struggled in her marriage to Matt Roloff. Amy says that since her marriage to Chris is her second and now that she's older, there's more of a drive between them to understand each other's perspectives. During a joint confessional, Amy admits that part of her internal struggle is from a fear that Chris would walk out the door if she didn't word things the right way. That's when Amy starts to tear up as she reflects on her past. "There are moments it goes back to my childhood that I'm just glad he thinks I'm good enough," Amy tearfully admits as Chris consoles her with a hug, telling her that she's more than good enough. Now that they've settled into their home in Hillsboro, Oregon, about 20 miles outside of Portland, after Amy moved out of the farmhouse on Roloff Farms, they're already planning for some changes. Last month, Amy told her Instagram followers that she and Chris were hoping to move somewhere with more property in a couple of years. Although Amy could have chosen to stay in the farmhouse, which would have provided her and Chris plenty more property, it wasn't something she had in her sights. With her ex-husband Matt still living in a double-wide trailer on the farm and his girlfriend Karen Chandler visiting often, it surely would have made things between them even more awkward than they already are. Amy Roloff unveils sweet wood project she made with fiancé Chris Marek ahead of their wedding. The Little People, Big World star, 56, shared 3 photos on Instagram Sunday of an art project with their initials and wedding date that the couple is working on for their special day. "We're working together on a wood project for the wedding," Amy wrote. "Chris is really doing all of it. My small part was to brand it. Oops, the date is a little off, but we'll be the only ones that see it," she added. The day prior, she posted that it was all hands on deck as her nuptials approach. Emilia Sardixon, 13, and PDX1 DLS decided a little wedding planning over chips and margaritas was the perfect course of action, the TLC star wrote on Instagram Saturday. "Earlier, we took a tour of the farm where Chris joined us, and we worked through some of our final plans. I can't wait till the big day." Amy and Marek in September 2019. They will wed on August, which is owned by Amy's ex-husband. Little People, Big World. Amy Roloff's husband Chris caught gossiping behind her back to Matt. In a preview of the next Little People, Big World episode, Amy Roloff's husband Chris Marek is caught in a lie that involves her ex Matt Roloff. Amy and Matt announced their separation in 2015 after being married for 28 years, with the divorce being made final the following year. 5 years later, Amy got married to Chris Marek after getting engaged in 2019. Little People, Big World is still showing the fallout from Amy and Matt's divorce, including everything going on with Roloff Farm. Matt recently announced he's leaving the land to Amy when he dies. Amy's husband Chris also appears on the TLC show, and in a preview of Little People, Big World Season 25, Episode 2. He gets caught in a lie after saying he and Matt do not talk about her when they hang out. And the little people. Big World Season 25 preview clip. Amy and Chris are eating lunch outside. When the topic of Chris and Matt's bromance is brought up, Amy is fine that the two men are friends, as long as things don't get too crazy. In a confessional, Chris claims that they're not talking about Amy. No one's throwing her under the bus. While eating, Chris admits that sometimes Amy does come up during their conversations, but they're never comparing notes. At this point, the little people, Big World preview clip cuts back to the confessional, where a producer behind the camera can be heard telling the couple, so the topic of Amy did not come up, except for once. Amy immediately looks over at Chris, and things get uncomfortable. The body language is clear. Finally, Chris fesses up and admits that he and Matt have talked about how irritating Amy can be when she constantly leaves doors and drawers open. Amy claims those incidences rarely happen, fortunately. The tension quickly eases and they start laughing about the situation. The actual issue at hand, that Amy leaves doors and drawers open, really isn't a huge problem. However, fans in the comment section of the Instagram post that shared this little people Big World preview clip weren't happy that Chris and Matt were talking about Amy behind her back. Tram23 thought that Chris totally disrespected her by not allowing her this boundary. Nancy Egg 550 agreed that it's disrespectful, but Amy's being a good sport about it, though she's too nice sometimes. There were a handful of fans in the comments section that defended Chris and Matt talking about Amy. When the producer called Chris out, it seemed like there would be a big revelation, especially seeing how physically uncomfortable he got at that moment. The admission itself was kind of boring. Nothing exciting or dramatic was revealed. However, the fans are right that it's probably best if Chris and Matt don't bring up Amy while they're hanging out. Surely, there are plenty of other topics they can discuss instead, despite the fact that they have something in common, which is being married to Amy. It'll be interesting to see if Chris and Matt's friendship causes any other issues for Amy going forward. LPBW viewers don't agree with Chris Marek replacing Zach Roloff as a tour guide during pumpkin season. With Zach Roloff no longer giving tours on the farm during pumpkin season, Chris Marek has stepped up and offered, but little people, Big World viewers don't think he should. In a clip from the most recent episode of LPBW, Amy and Chris join Matt and Karen for dinner. During their conversation, the topic of Zach and Tori moving to Washington came up, with Zach moving 45 minutes north of Roloff Farms, coupled with the tensions between himself and Matt after negotiations to buy the farm went south. Matt figured he would cut out the private tours, which Zach has historically handled as the tour guide. Zach usually handles the private tours, but with everything going on, I'm not expecting to see Zach very much. Matt revealed during a solo confessional time. Disappointed that Zach and Jackson aren't going to be here. It's sad, but that's where we are. Matt then revealed he was going to do away with private tours at Roloff Farms during pumpkin season since Zach didn't want to be around the farm anymore. Instead, they're going to focus on wagon tours at the farm. That's when Chris entered the conversation. Do you still need somebody to do tours? He asked Matt. Matt seemed a bit shocked, asking, you want to be a tour guide? Chris thought it would be kind of fun to help at the farm, a place he describes as having a great fun atmosphere. The clip captioned Chris is stepping up to the plate as Roloff Farm's newest pumpkin season tour guide was shared on TLC's official Instagram feed, where LPBW viewers took to the comments to weigh in. As it turns out, many LPBW viewers disagree with letting Chris do wagon tours during pumpkin season. One viewer called Chris' actions wrong and commented Chris is doing all the wrong things. Let's cause some more drama, or do you get paid to cause drama on the show? I rather watch the kids and all the babies grow up. Another commenter agreed. Kimberly Arnold-Alls, me too, no more Chris. Another fan of the show felt that Chris' actions are detrimental to Amy moving past her divorce from Matt and insinuated that he tries to spend too much time with his wife's ex-husband. Chris wanting to be a tour guide is not okay, they wrote. Like, Amy is trying to grow and he's hindering her with his relationship with Matt. A similar comment read, Chris needs to stop pushing Amy to go backwards. What's up with that? Move on and stop with the Matt relationship. Amy has been skeptical about Chris' friendship with Matt, but he simply views his wife's ex as a friend. Last season, Chris admitted, I've always gotten along fine with Matt, but, over time we just kind of discovered that, we have a lot in common. We talk the same language. LPBW star Amy Roloff visits family in Michigan to pay tribute to late mom Patricia Knight. Little people, Big World matriarch Amy Roloff is enjoying some family time in her home state of Michigan as she remembers her late mom, Patricia Knight, on her would-be 90th birthday. Amy, 60, made the 2,000-plus-mile trek from Oregon to Michigan to be with her father Gordon Knight, her brother cousins, and some college friends. Amy shared some photos from her trip on Instagram in a series of posts. In the first post, Amy and her family members snapped a group photo from a restaurant. "I'm here. I traveled to my home state of Michigan yesterday, which would have been my mom's 90th birthday, to visit family," Amy captioned the share. "Having dinner at Sessions Inn and Arbor with my dad, cousin, and brother. It's good to be home to visit with family," she added. In another post shared over the weekend, Amy posed alongside two of her friends from college as the trio met up for a last-minute get-together to reminisce and enjoy each other's company. On Monday, Amy shared another group shot, where she knelt and posed next to her dad, Gordon, and 7 other family members. "Family, Michigan love coming back," read the accompanying caption. Amy's mom, Patricia, passed away in 2019 at the age of 86. At the time, Amy released a statement to people saying, "I am so sad about my mom's passing, but comforted by all the memories I have, and that she lived a happy, long life with my father. Life is a gift. Appreciate the moments in each day." Patricia and Gordon had been married for nearly 67 years at the time of her passing. Amy's father, Gordon, 94, is still alive and well. Although he faced some health issues in the summer of 2021, he was able to make it to Amy and Chris Marek's August 2021 nuptials and walk his daughter down the aisle. Amy often visits Michigan, where she was raised by Patricia and Gordon, alongside her siblings. These days, Amy has found happiness again in Hillsboro, Oregon, where she resides with her husband Chris. After Amy sold her portion of the farm back to her ex-husband, Matt Roloff, she and Chris bought their first home together. As Little People, Big World viewers watched in recent seasons, Amy and Chris initially butted heads when it came to meshing their lives into one. Chris tends to be tidier and more concerned with organization, and even gave Amy an ultimatum before he agreed to move in with her and tie the knot. Chris wanted everything organized to make room for his things, and didn't want to set their wedding date until Amy cleaned up her act. As LPBW viewers now know, Amy and Chris have found a way to live in harmony. The couple will celebrate their second wedding anniversary later this year. Little People, Big World star Amy Roloff parties with her girlfriends ahead of wedding to Chris Marek. Amy Roloff went all out for her girls' weekend ahead of her wedding to boyfriend Chris Marek. Roloff posted a group photo on Instagram this week showing herself with 10 friends, 8 women, and 2 dogs together by a scenic river. She thanked them for having a good time in her honor. "That a couple of weeks ago, had a fabulous time with these girlfriends of mine," Roloff wrote. "When girlfriends want to get together to hang out with you, can't pass that up. Especially when one of the reasons is to celebrate my upcoming wedding 2 weeks away. I've known many of these wonderful, fabulous good friends since our kids were young. Love them bunches, and I'm so blessed to have them and their friendship in my life. We had a great time on the river. Thanks, Christy, for hosting at your floating home, and everyone for hanging out. Girls just want to have fun. The best. 2 weeks, I'm getting married, woohoo." Roloff has been keeping fans up to date on the most exciting aspects of her wedding preparations and teasing some big reveals in the process. In a recent story post, she said that her engagement ring is at the jeweler's right now, and she can't wait to see what it will look like as a wedding ring. This wedding is a long time coming, as Marek first proposed to Roloff in 2019. They announced their engagement in September of that year, and now they are scheduled to say their vows on Saturday, August 28, 2021. They will have their wedding on Roloff Farms, which is still owned by Amy's ex-husband for Little People Big World co-star Matt Roloff. Matt Roloff and his girlfriend Karen Chandler will not be attending Amy and Marek's wedding. In a recent episode of Little People Big World, Marek said, "Initially when Matt offered us the farm, I thought it was just a given that we invite him and Karen to join us if they'd like to, no obligation. But then I saw where it could be awkward for some people that were going to be at the wedding, and especially maybe for Amy. We had a conversation and he goes, 'Are you going to be offended if we don't invite you to the wedding?' I said, 'Absolutely not. Let's just take it off the table.' Make it simple," Matt added in his own confessional. Heartbreaking as it may be, this arrangement seems at least civil and amicable to fans. There's no telling when Amy's wedding will be depicted on Little People, Big World. Little People, Big World. Amy Roloff gets remarried 6 years after divorcing Matt. Little People, Big World star Amy Roloff and Marek married